The Learning Game Robust is aimed at enterprises that perform tasks essential to society. Robust is also aimed at authorities, educational establishments and local emergency services. Robust helps create a healthy and reflexive security and emergency management culture. It's about continuously improving how we prevent and deal with crisis-related events through dialogue and following up. In this short film, we'd like to introduce you to Robust. We'll show you what the game looks like, the ideas behind the game, and how the learning game can enable enterprises essential to society become more robust to crisis-related events. The game comprises several elements. An instruction manual explains how the game is played. A Game Master manual explains the role of the Game Master and what the Game Master must consider before, during and after gameplay. The game also includes a short brochure about the thinking behind the game Robust. There's a game board. This is an analog game. There are 6 playing pieces. There are 150 topic cards with 6 different categories, and there's a wild card. And then some betting boards that give the game a competitive element. In the trial games we've run at large Danish infrastructural enterprises with exactly these topics, we see they led to huge discussions, really good discussions. Sometimes they lasted 10, 12, 15 minutes, and when we left, after the games, well, we were told that the discussions carried on in the canteen afterwards. It's actually following up on the things that happen that's most important. One thing is that the players leave the game with new knowledge and contacts which they can also use in other areas than just security and emergency management. Then there's the tangible things such as contingency plans, action cards or physical redesigning of areas that need to be done. And this is the Game Master's role. The Game Master has a special role in the learning game Robust. One of the most important points is ensuring that each of the game playing scenarios is investigated through dialogue. This means with openness and curiosity. An important balance the Game Master must strike is the balance between including previous experience that might be recorded in procedures, manuals, guidelines and other frameworks, and then making sure that the members of the organisation relate openly to the lack of certainty or the doubt that surrounds any situation, because of course every situation is new and unique. The learning game Robust cannot stand alone. Of course, lots of knowledge and experience are exchanged when people play the game. But what really makes a difference is where people make their own organisation-specific questions, instead of just using the game's standard questions. So, organisation-specific questions. This is why, also based on research into organisational learning, we see the game as more than just a game. We see a pre-game phase, a game phase and a post-game phase. The organisation-specific questions are created in the pre-game phase. And this could be a week or 2 weeks, it could be a month or 2 months before people play the game. Here it starts getting interesting, because it's already here that we start working with the organisation, when people have to define their own organisation-specific questions. Then we start working with security and emergency management culture. What is it that actually concerns us at the moment? Where do we see problems in our security and emergency management culture? And this creates learning. Learning through reflection and learning through knowledge sharing. The format of the learning game Robust, with many small, realistic scenarios, is well suited to training the ability to make decisions and take action in organisations. Through the scenarios, colleagues are able to train and relate to 2 crucial things in relation to security and emergency management culture. One is what we can call the framework pattern, that is, the fixed procedures in given situations about whom I go to, what responsibility I have, and so on. The other is the situations that require more interpretation, which we can call the pattern of meaning. That is, how can I decode a situation? How do I assess if an unidentified person is an intruder, and such things? By moving between framework patterns and patterns of meaning, the organisation's security and emergency culture is talked out into the open. Learning games are not new. They have been used in many ways for many years. In the 1930s, the Dutch cultural sociologist Johan Huizinga spoke of the magic circle one steps into the world of play and games. The game is really a kind of play, where we can try something in a safe space. For security and emergency management culture, it's good to try something out before the consequences of reality. You can read more about the Learning Game Robust on our website samtænkning.dk.